Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you might remember this video I posted the other day about my buddy Chad's 69 Camaro. This car was formerly a big block. I believe it was a 502 and it had a TH400 in it, and he had nitrous, and a lot of you probably call bullshit, but he road races and autocrosses this car a lot. It's mostly what he does with it. It has a nice suspension setup on it, and he always wanted to do something about the transmission, like put in some sort of overdrive, but he was like, well, if I do that, I want to do pretty much a no compromise and do an awesome trans and an aluminum LS engine and mostly just go all out. So he found a rollover G8 engine and transmission package and put it in the car. So awesome. I went over there and got it fired, and we put it on the dyno and tuned it up. And I said, you know, I estimate at least 400 horsepower, maybe even closing in on 430, and we ended up with about 416 to the tire conservatively on gas, and it has a flex sensor, so he can put that in. Also, we want to mess around with that a little bit. Also, it is entirely a stock G8 engine, transmission, and torque converter. All he did was he bought a specific camshaft that makes good power, and you can use the stock converter. And technically what that means is the idle speed, you can set it to a point where it doesn't want to push through the converter all day long. So it was pretty happy with a 750 RPM idle. It is nice and easy with the stock torque converter, and this thing is just brutal with the 6-speed. I definitely want to get some video of him or us driving it on the street. He is working on, he purchased a paddle shifter setup. He said that that's unfortunately like a 3-week wait on getting the parts and everything. So there's that, and then I hear there's a little bit of ECU configuration that's got to go on also. But anyway, he said with the street tire on it, it is ridiculous, and it just will blur off the tires and shift the gears, which I have footage of me on the dyno trying to set it up so that it shifts really nice, and all it does is just rip the gears and spin the tires and tag more. It just sounds like it's tagging limiter, and it's making 5 shifts. So we'll get to all of that and show you all the good stuff. right, here is the time where we show you the difference. And this makes a lot of big block people upset, but it's really just showing what most people already know. And this is from when we dynoed Chad's big block car in 2014 on a dyno day. This is how we got interested in sloppy mechanics. And this was on motor. It made 336, 350 foot-pounds through a TH400 to the tire. This is the engine speed RPM plot, and this is the wheel speed plot. I always go back and forth about this, but I actually have engine speed ones I can show you. As you can see, his converter hits 4,000 RPM almost instantly, and then this motor lays over at 5,500. So I have those, and what I will show you next is this is approximately 100 shot through the auto. So it made 336 horsepower right here on motor, and it made 427 on the 100 shot. And then a neat plot to show you is, obviously this is a little bit what looks like a larger power band. Not really, if you guys pay attention. You can see here, this is on motor. The converter comes up to almost 4,000. And when you spray it, the converter goes farther. The nitrous pushes the converter harder. It's almost a 5,000 stall then. And this is the G8. Obviously, I was starting my pull at like 2,200 RPM, just rolling into the pedal here to get the tune-up nice from a low RPM. And then this combo peaks out, in the 6,000 range. So you can see right here, this is big block on motor, big block on spray, and then an aluminum 6-liter G8 motor with a cam and medium length runner headers and springs. That's technically it. So he does still have the nitrous on the car. He plans on spraying this motor also, but doesn't want to make it too insane. So 416 here on motor is really plenty of power. This was us messing with a bunch of stuff back and forth. Get rid of that one. So it is pretty phenomenal to see. I mean, again, this is what most people already know, but it's neat to show people. Here's the difference with a modern engine. And I would love to talk to him about like what kind of mileage he got, because I bet he got 5 miles per gallon. And now I bet he could probably hit close to 20 on the highway with his overdrive. So the drivability and how nice it runs, and he dropped like at least 250 pounds off the nose of his car. He said he had to mess with the springs like twice. He dropped the engine and trans in and expected the transmission to be pretty heavy, and he's like, I set it down and the front end was still completely topped out high on the suspension. So he had to swap his spring rates out and everything. He's probably going to have to mess with it some more now that he has it running. And like I said, he wants to do paddle shift and cool other things. So another neat way we can show this is over vehicle speed. So obviously you can see the converter doing its work on spray here, but what's really interesting is the 6-liter for being, 360 cubes, 364 cubic inches versus 502 cubic inches here. Pretty big difference in usable power band. And just showing them all, I figured some of you guys would really like to see this. So that is this is technically a mild camshaft, I would say, because it idles at 750 RPM and it drives really nice. So yeah, I definitely want to get more video of this car. We had a rough day, like morning wise, and getting the car ready, and he had an alignment shop in the morning, so we didn't start off where we wanted. So I wanted to get more video of the engine bay and stuff, but his interior is out, and Chad has pretty high standards for how things look, so I'm sure he wouldn't be too happy with me showing the mostly stripped out interior at this time. So something more complete would definitely better represent how nice of something Chad builds. He also built, if you search through my videos, the 69 C10 with the plaid fenders in the front and the back, and it had an LS1 in it. Now it has an iron 6-liter. So I hope that was informative. And if you have any questions about this vehicle, let me know. We will definitely show more of it as I get video of it. So I definitely want to see more of it. I know a lot of you want to see more of it. So exciting. Enjoy.